23rd, 2024 regular meeting of the Burlington Board of Health to order. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I'm Dr. Ed Weiner, Chairman, and with me this evening is Vice Chair Gail Demore and Member Andrea Sheehan. Dr. Mara El-Sabahi and Mary Beth Welch could not be with us this evening. Also tonight, we have Susan Luminello, who's Director of Public Health. We have an environmental engineer, who is Christine Mathis, and Marlene Johnson is our health agent. Please note that we are live on and will be taped by BCAT and available for appropriate comments and questions through this video technology. And as always, thank you for BCAT for what you do for this community, keeping us all aware and so well informed. We have minutes to approve this evening for May 14th, 2024 and June 25th, 2024. I hope you've taken a look at them. Could I have a motion to approve the May 14th, 2024?
Make a motion to approve. I'll second.
I have a motion by Vice Chair Gail Demore, second by Ms. Andrea Sheehan. All in favor? Aye. 3-0-0. And also, June 25th, 2024. Could I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Ms. Sheehan, second by Demore. All in favor? Aye. 3-0-0. Which brings us to citizens' time. Is there anybody here who's not on the agenda? Would like to speak to the board? No, everybody's here. Is there anybody online?
No.
Who would like to speak to the board? No, then we can move on to the chairman's report. Just a moment ago, I thanked BCAT for what they do for this community. I now, however, need to also thank our hyper-local online news publication, the Burlington Buzz. Fostering community connection and civil engagement. Ms. Nikki Cadillac, I'm pretty sure you have founded this publication and now directs this publication and has become so important for all of us in this community. Even before I pour my coffee every morning, I open the Buzz to review what I need to know as I start my day. Ms. Cadillac is joined tonight by David Masher and Claire Papanastiu, I tried my best, from the Buzz this evening. As they have other responsibilities tonight, I would like to take their presentation out of order. So could I please have a motion to that effect so they can present now?
I'll make a motion to take things out of order from the agenda.
We have a motion to take this out of order.
I'll second.
We have a second. All in favor? Aye. Please, Ms. Cadillac, where would you like? Please come up here. And please, we have 3 seats here. Join her. I think we'll all agree how important the Buzz has become to Burlington. You have the floor.
Great, thank you very much. I appreciate your appreciation. Very honored and happy to be doing what we do for the community at the Buzz. We just wanted this evening to give a brief presentation to you and to the community and for the record about who Burlington Buzz is, and then introduce you to my colleagues David and Claire from Vote Light, who have a really amazing opportunity for civic engagement for everybody in the community. So let's go ahead and get started. Thank you. So who we are, most people here know who we are and how we got started, but really Burlington Buzz is founded on community connection. I guess, was realizing there was an election coming up in 2022, and also that I had really no idea what I was voting for, who I was voting for, who was on the ballot, what was at stake, or anything like that. And so I just started making phone calls. Susan Luminoa was one of the very first people I spoke with, and we had about a 90-minute conversation about all the great things that the Board of Health and the Department of Health do. And just by doing that and reaching out to folks like you, we've really been able to build this connection and this conduit between individual citizens and the people who represent them, and among the citizens as well. And so I am so thankful for the opportunity to do that. You know, we sort of know the general statistics about Burlington, about 26,000 people and about 10,000 households, and average election turnout was about 15% on average in the last several years. This year it was actually 22%, and I am going to be not humble for a second and take a tiny bit of credit for that. I think that the fact that there were contested races and the fact that people were running for offices in greater frequency, I think that it does have something to do with the coverage that we've been providing about the news and about the candidates and about the races. So we have currently about almost 1,800 newsletter subscribers that are reading that daily buzz in their inboxes each morning. Hopefully all or most of you are in that group. And there are around 215 paying members. Paying members are not nearly enough to keep the lights on, but that's sort of, you know, that's why we're branching out into things like grants, fellowships, advertising, things like that. Next slide. What we offer currently, we have the newsletter that comes out every day. We also have seasonal guides. We're working on our fall guide right now, and the spring and summer guide is out. Please take a look at that. I should have brought some copies. Take a look at that online, though. There's a really fun bingo game that's associated with it that you can go and get, you fill out your bingo card and get prizes. It's very fun. And then we have a new website as well. We launched that at the end of March. The other thing that we do is community events, and so you all were involved in the Civic Expo that we ran in January in collaboration with Amy Warfield and the town clerk's office. That was a really fantastic event, and we're already starting to plan next year's, so I'm really excited about that. And really, the whole idea is just to kind of get people involved, right? And next slide, please. A few things that we have accomplished over the last 2.5 years. We won last year a Community Engagement Award from Lion Publishers. This year we just found out we are a finalist for the Product of the Year Award for the Spring and Summer Guide. I'll be a panelist this year at the News Sustainability Summit in Chicago, where they will also be announcing the winner of that award, fingers crossed. I'm also a community ambassador for Lion. I work with a group of solopreneurs right now and sort of helping them develop their products without burning out. Good luck. And then I will also be just entered the Transformation Tech cohort, which is a 72-day sprint to build a new revenue stream for your news organization. That just started. So one of the things that I mentioned earlier is that what we want to do is connect people. And so there's just a tremendous opportunity with Vote Light to do that. And so I'm going to turn it over to David to introduce Vote Light and what it can do for you as elected officials, as citizens, and for our community.
Well, thank you, Nikki. Thank you, everyone, for providing us the chance to be here, and thank you for bringing us along. My name is David Masher. This is Claire Papanastasiou. We are part of a group called Vote Light. It's a civic engagement platform that really tries to get people involved civically with what's happening every day, as opposed to just every 4 years or every 2 years, right? Things are happening every day, and I was an elected official in the town of Rowley for a bunch of years, and I ran into it every day where people didn't realize a vote was happening, or they didn't know something was coming on the ballot, or they wanted something on the ballot, and I'm like, hey, I didn't see you at town election, whatever, or the town, meetings. So it was really the impetus for Jeff, who's not here, and myself to put this platform together. And Claire came on. She's our communications director. She was in the news world as a reporter, as a crisis management person. She's been wonderful. The whole point of what we're trying to do with Vote Light is really to connect voters to the town, to the elected officials, to the media. Media has some wonderful content out there. They are usually the reason that things get publicized. We can become, or are, a tool for all of those different user groups, right? So an elected official could sign on, they become verified, and they see a dashboard which basically shows what's happening in their town, what issues are being published, who's voting on them, how many votes, what kind of feedback they're having, that wonderful sort of back and forth. From our standpoint, though, the ability to have not just like Nikki having an issue and an article that we can use a tool for us to allow them to engage further with that content, but to then connect it with elected officials or the town really kind of closes the loop where everybody can be more civically engaged. Could you switch that one for me? So this is a complicated graphic, but it basically just shows that elected officials, town officials, groups, community partners, citizens, and media partners can all connect on VoteLight and be able to have a voice in their community or test the temperature of a specific issue or what have you. These days with programs or platforms like, Facebook or LinkedIn or, God forbid, X or what have you, there's really not a lot of control as to what's on there. Algorithms determine who sees what and for how long and, what gets published. There really isn't a platform that connects users with government. I mean, there's friends and family, there's, at Facebook, there's workers and employees, if you will, at LinkedIn, but we found sort of a hole, and putting VoteLight together, we're hoping, we're an early startup, so we're really hoping that this takes off because we really believe in it and see the value. But that being said, VoteLight would become that platform that connects all these people together. Could you go to the next slide for me, please? I'm trying to keep us moving here. So one thing that's really great is with the stuff that Nikki's done, I've had years working in the internet world and understanding conversions, how many people sign up, how many people open things, and to get 38, 37% is huge. So that just shows that there's a need for this. In my town of Rowley, which has 6,000 people, if we could get that much more turnout and engagement, it's life-changing, right? I mean, I'm sure you guys know during the pandemic in Raleigh, if you had 75 people at a meeting, that was a quorum. If 50 of those people had an agenda, they could run the town, which is fine. But you need more people, right? You need more people to become aware. So to see these kind of numbers is really amazing to me. If you get a 2% open rate on emails, that's massive. We're talking 38%. That's fabulous. So there's a need for it. Could you go to the next slide for me, please?
Okay, actually, I would like to jump in too and just say that we've been partnering with VoteLight since last July, and we've piloted a number of issues that people have voted on. There's one up now. When you finish with this meeting, if you want to go to votelight.com and enter your information so that they know where you are, that'll be the first issue you see. And it's a very, very fun one about whether we should put a sign on the common, right. An electronic sign on the common or not. But that's just a way, again, like David was saying, to take the temperature of how are people feeling about this, and the more people we have, and as David was saying, or as I'm going to extrapolate from what you said, the more representative sample that we have of the community, the better representative those results are going to be.
Yeah, and one thing, just to take that a step further, is so VoteLight is not just a survey tool. It's not like you just vote yes or no, right? It's also a place where you can get an awful lot of information about an issue. You can ask questions. There are frequently asked questions that can be posted, and there's an area called Explore. So, for example, in my town, they were changing a traffic intersection, and people were for it, some people were against it. There were different traffic surveys that kept coming up, so it became a repository for people to know to go here to see the latest and the greatest. And it helped the town out because, in my little town, it's difficult to get the word out. We've got a Facebook. Yes?
Will there be a link on the buzz to VoteLight?
What do you think, Dr.
course. I never asked a
Tomorrow
question.
morning, when we write up these meetings tonight, there will be a link, and we're trying to sort of keep this in the public consciousness.
And how do you prevent someone from getting on 25 times and voting?
That's an excellent point.
Yeah, great question. So a couple things about security, if you will, or access. So if you have 25 different email addresses, you could. That's not the norm. When you register, you put in where you live and all this, your contact information, which becomes anonymized. But what it does is it sets you in your district. So it figures out, everybody from the president down to the select board, who your, representatives are. Within one click, you can reach out to them, which is in and of itself, to me, is huge, right? But once you're in there, you only can vote on issues that are tied to your district. So you can't vote on issues in my town about a traffic light or, if, the turtle population is affected by streetlights, right? So, it's really based on where you live. You can see all of the issues, but you can't vote in Raleigh. You could vote in Massachusetts, and you could vote in the United States.
And you can vote in your local district
Correct.
as
Yes.
well. So for, we have a governor's council race coming up. You can vote in that, but you wouldn't be able to vote in some other districts.
Right, and you can only vote once.
And you can only vote
You can
once.
change your
You can
vote.
change your vote, but
But you
it's
can
only
only vote
one
once. So
one
there's a
vote.
level of integrity there.
Yeah.
And very much focused on the community itself. So that's a huge differentiator.
So
Yeah,
do you manage that security
So-
control, or do you have an outside vendor that?
No, we do. And so obviously we have a bunch of rules that are put in place, around language, around phrases, around, like you cannot reply to anything. You can post an opinion, but there's no replying to that opinion. So we try to block, some of the mudslinging,
Yes.
that immediately happens on some of the other platforms. The other thing that we don't allow is well, like Claire said, you can only vote once, right? So we're trying to keep that, in check as well. That doesn't say that someone can't post maybe an issue that's not favorable to everyone, but we do have terms of use that, you can't do anything stupid, basically, right? As every platform has, right? So hopefully that maybe answers your question in some respect. Yeah. And it's multi-factor authenticated, so when you sign up, you have to validate, your email address back through your email. And then once you're in, all your data that we use to figure out where you live is gone, except you still have your district, so we know where you can vote and where you can't vote. On this screen, this is basically a little dashboard that would show what a municipality or an elected official would see when they go in, which is, again, I mentioned earlier, what the votes are like, what's the top issue, how many people are voting, what percentage of the population is of your district is on the platform. Yeah, so you could go to the next one if there is a next one. I don't want to take too long.
Yeah, how can you help? So,
Yeah.
So, as far as how can anybody help really with the buzz is getting the word out to people and sharing events with us. So if there's an event that you see that's coming up that you're like, oh, this would be really great, check our events calendar. If it's not there, you can just add it yourself. Yeah, I don't even need to be involved. If you want to email me because you like talking to me, that's okay. But there's a self-serve mechanism. All you have to do is create a free account. You can post a number of events for free. And so really what we want is just to be able to connect people with the maximum number of events and opportunities and information that they can have. So 2 things, if you take anything else away from this, is share us with other people, and then share the things that you see around with us. Or if you see a good story, if you see something great that happened, you saw somebody save a little boy from getting run over by a car, I don't know, any of those heartwarming stories too, or, issues that come up, any of that. Please share that. And then, of course, optionally, if you're interested in supporting the Buzz financially, feel free to do that and prompt people that you care about to do that as well.
And for us, it's very simple. We want to just provide a tool for any of our user groups, whether it's media or, government or elected officials, to help connect with their constituents. It's that simple. We're doing pilots right now, so if people were interested, we wouldn't be charging for any of this stuff. We're, again, sort of a startup, so we haven't figured all that out yet. We just want to make sure that what our beliefs are and how good this could be for communities, that it actually is the case, and then down the road, we'll figure the rest of it out. And I'm sorry, one other thing that I meant to say is there are people that read all of the stuff that we have in New Jersey, where Jeff, my partner, is, to make sure that there's nothing crazy going on. So there is sort of an approval process. Yeah.
So do you have any other towns locally that are using the Buzz?
So we have, So we have, we basically started with Nikki up here in Burlington. We've got 2 in New Jersey, where Jeff, my partner, is. We've got the Greenwich State News Collaborative, which they're a group of 11 or 12. 25, which we're in talks with now, because we also do something called a state vote, where you could group a whole bunch of these organizations together and come up with a vote that could be spread across one of the state district, if you will, or a town vote, like you sort of.
Yeah,
right,
that's what we call ours.
Yeah,
vote,
yeah.
So we're sort of like the first pilot. This is a very early pilot, but proving out this concept, I think, is meaningful, because I think that we are all thirsty for the ability to connect with each other, and also to just connect with our government and know what's going on. And even,
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Even if people don't know it, they really need that connection.
Yeah.
That's all I was going to say.
So is this a business for you through him? You're collecting subscription. Do you pay a fee for this service through VoteLink?
Not yet, no. We're sort of partnering together to sort of prove out the concept.
Yeah.
So there's no.
So it's not really a business yet, or?
No. And I have a full-time job. I have another company that I own, and as does Jeff, and Claire does what she does. But no, not yet. But yes, down the road, we'll have to monetize it somehow as we grow out the infrastructure and whatnot. So, but it sounds crazy. So I've been a part of 3 or 4 different startups and had exits, and I understand the whole thing. But right now, this is really about proving a concept that our country definitely needs. We need civic engagement. Yeah.
Are you going to allow organizations to be part of this?
Groups, definitely.
Groups.
So we have,
non-voting groups.
of course. Yeah. We have 5 user types. We have voters, groups, like, say, AARP or whomever, right? Towns, like clerks sometimes, elected officials, and media. So
Nonprofits in town?
it does not matter. Yeah.
Absolutely.
We're completely open to anything.
What I'm saying is, if a nonprofit would like to advertise a nonprofit program, would that be appropriate?
So, in what respect, I guess, is like where, right? Because advertising with ad units and where they go and who's seeing them.
Let's say a food service, people helping people, or one of the other Bread of Life that I deal with, or whatever, that if they wanted to advertise a fundraiser, would that be something they could do on this, or be someplace else, put this on the Buzz?
Yeah, that's really a put this on the buzz kind
Of course,
thing,
yeah,
I think, right?
yeah.
I mean, VoteLite is really issue-based right now, so it's like,
Okay.
put an issue up, voice your choice about that, and that's kind of where the interaction.
So really what it does for a media enterprise is it creates more content that advertising can go around, right? And then they usually have their own advertising model and their advertising rules. We're not really thinking about that right now. Eventually, say a group like AARP or whomever, they would probably pay us a fee to use the tool. And towns eventually would probably pay us a fee based on membership or, census data or what have you, but we're not there just yet,
Anything else? Anything else? Thank you so much.
Thanks very much for the opportunity.
Nice
Interesting
meeting you
concept.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fascinating. That's why I got involved in it. Yeah, I thought it was great and very necessary.
Yeah.
Miss Nikki, thank you so much. It's always, it's wonderful what you do.
Yeah, so, oh, yeah, of course. Go ahead, I'll pass these out.
Pass those out too.
Great.
We just have a case study.
Case study about our relationship
Anybody's
with
interested, yeah.
the Burlington Buzz, just to show you the situation and
Oh, that's good.
we partnered and all that, just to give you an idea.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much for your
Thank you
time.
so much.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity to.
And if we have any other questions, anybody out there have any questions, you can always,
hello@burlington.buzz.
that's correct.
Contact information's on that pass.
If not, you'll call me. Or
Thank you
text
so
me.
much.
More than happy to come back and do any kind of
Thank
demo or
you.
anything like that.
Thank you so much.
Thanks very much,
I
everybody.
know you have to run.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so do we need a motion to go back to the agenda or just move
No.
on? We'll just move on then. Wait. Thank you. We now have a hearing, Cigars and More, 64 Middlesex Turnpike, regulations restricting the sales of tobacco, vape, product violation. Sir, please come up here. And would you, is there some sign in, please? Sure. Could you please print so we can get your name correctly? Your name is?
Bhavesh, B as a Bravo, Havesh, and B as a Bravo, HUT.
Mr. Butt.
Yep.
Thank you for coming. Ms. Johnson, are you going to present this?
I will. So the type of establishment, so Cigars and More, located at 64 Middlesex Turnpike, is a 21-plus retail tobacco store. So you have to be 21 to walk in the door. And I listed their hours of operation for you. The violation, so an inspection was conducted by Taisha Soto, our shared services inspector for the Burlington Board of Health. The inspection or compliance check is what they are referred to, was conducted on Saturday, June 22nd. A package of Marlboro cigarettes was sold to a person under the age of 21 during this inspection. And I have the evidence here. It's a violation of the Burlington Board of Health's regulations restricting the sale of tobacco and vape products, found under Section 4.3, tobacco sales to person under 21 years of age. This section of the regulation incorporates Mass General Laws, Chapter 270, Section 6, as well as 105 CMR 665. Therefore, the following penalties apply to this violation. Because this is a first violation for this establishment, a fine of $1,000, which was already issued and already paid, and suspension of the tobacco product sales permit for 3 consecutive business days. That's why I listed the hours of operation above for you. Actions by the Board of Health. Following testimony, the question before the Board of Health is whether a sale to a person under the age of 21 occurred. If the board determines that a sale has occurred, they should determine the date to begin the permit suspension of 3 consecutive business days.
Mr. Butt, we find no pleasure for you coming here. Please understand, we find no pleasure. These things happen, I understand. What I need to know is, first, do you agree that it was sold?
Yes, Chairman, we do agree, and it is unfortunate. First, all of you, Chairman Dr. Weiner, Vice Chairman Demore, Department of Health team members, and the respected Public Health Department team members. I'm Bhavesh Booth, representative for Kanchan Patel, the owner of Cigars and More. And on behalf of my client, I do accept that this was unfortunately mistake happened at this one. Reason behind that, the assistant manager, Veena Booth, she was attending a family event, and the new employee was very new employees, just 1 week of employees over there, and we have trained her and we provided her, but unfortunately she missed this one. As a corrective actions, we have already fired her and we let her go. And also, we have put the strict guidelines on that one. And same things, we also have all our employees to duly sign the documents that's provided by Health Agent Ms. Johnson, and follow the whole Massachusetts State Department selling tobacco guidelines on this one. On a second things, we've been doing this business for 5 years, and as a stellar records, as Ms. Johnson mentioned, this was the first of incidents happened for us. And this is not something I'm asking as an exclusion, but I'm asking as a forgiveness on behalf of my client, that please forgive us for 3 days of the violations on not selling of the tobacco on this one. So
you are their attorney?
no.
You just represented them?
Veena Booth, one of the business partners, plus assistant manager, she is my wife.
I understand. I understand. So you've told us what happened.
Yes.
You've told us that you have measures in place now.
Yes.
That it wouldn't happen again.
It will.
I guess, according to Ms. Johnson, who is our expert and our professional, as long as since you have admitted that it was sold,
Yeah.
that we have no other role here except to set 3 days.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Correct.
And to please say to you, and I'll ask my, please don't let this happen again.
It will never happen, as I said it. And Ms. Johnson knows, she knows very well my wife, and every year she visited, even in the time of the pandemic when we were in a stricter guidelines, following every guidelines has been provided by the town, and we were always cooperating with the community, and that's why we never had any issue, and this was an unfortunate situation, and we were actually out of town from here on a weekend attending the family events, and that's why we had to fill in her as a fresh employee, and this was very unfortunate for us that happened, and for the community as well, that this must be avoided.
Either of you would like to comment?
I think the statute speaks for itself. I'm sorry it happened, but
I know,
there's consequences for everything in life, and this is just the consequence.
So, Ms. Johnson, when do you suggesting 3 days?
You can decide if you want to include the weekend. I just request that you give us 24 hours because I need to get the notice over to him.
Do you want to do this sooner or later?
Sooner or later, let's say that, sooner.
Sooner.
Could I just see what the hours, I don't have my paperwork.
I don't have
Oh,
anything.
What are your hours of operation?
What are they?
10 to 8.
10 to 8 every day.
Every day?
So you could go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then he can reopen Sunday
Is that,
Sunday at 12.
then what
Should be
do we do?
fine. Or if you want to put it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Would that be better, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? Would that,
It's up to you.
you
It's
have
up
to
to you.
monitor.
Well, I would
Up to you.
assume that you've got more traffic on a weekend, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So it'd be in your best interest to do it earlier, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
That is
It's really
correct.
up to us to decide.
Yes.
You said sooner than later. Today is, I don't know, Monday. You're asking
Tuesday.
24
Today's
hours.
Tuesday.
Tuesday. You're asking for 24 hours.
You could do next Monday if you
Yeah.
want. It doesn't-
We are
You
okay.
can extend it out as long as you want.
Would you like to make that motion?
Sure, I'll make a motion to do it next Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday.
That's okay.
I think that's fair.
I think it's fair.
Do we have a
That's
second?
very fair.
Second.
I have no opinion, as long as that's what you feel. Then we have a motion, we have a second, all in favor? Aye. You have 24 hours' notice, it's going to be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday of coming up.
Yep.
And either myself or Samantha will stop by the store, and we'll give you the notice to put onto the door.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much, and we will.
We find no pleasure in having you here.
I totally understand, Dr. Weiner, this is.
But we're trying to protect the community.
We are also here trying to protect the community, and I do have 2 kids, honestly, I'll tell you. They both are in college, and I can totally go through these situations. And I don't want you, Dr. Weiner, by profession, I'm in a semiconductor industry in the product management, and I work here in the large company who makes the chip manufacturing equipment, and I do totally get this one.
Please
But this
understand,
is
Thank you for your understanding.
we're protecting the community.
Absolutely.
And this is what we have to do.
I do.
We don't want to see you again. Not in
Not
front
under
of us.
this.
We'd love to see you in other things, but not please.
That's what I was.
But we have to protect the children in our
Absolutely.
community.
Thank you. Thank you for understanding. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a nice evening.
You too.
Which brings us now to staff reports. We have the health agent. If it's okay, I'm going to ask the health agent. I'm going to also, we have a report from the associate health inspector, and Samantha Hardy, or is it Samantha Ellsworth?
She will legally change her name when she comes back from Aruba. She said she needs to wait because of her passport.
Ms. Hardy was married over the last week or so. So if any questions for the health agent, first of all, the associate health inspector, do you have any questions about that report? I have none.
I have none.
Okay.
Did you have a call, I'm sorry to interrupt, but did you have a call about mosquito spraying or something?
Not me.
Oh, okay.
That would be
Okay, that might be under your list.
Okay.
I just wanted to inquire about that.
Just one second here, if you need this.
Oh, thank you. Just take a peek.
Okay. Do you have anybody have any questions for Ms. Johnson? I have 2.
No.
Do you have any? What is you volunteered, which is thank you, for the conduct a verification audit for S5 Vermont. What is that?
Standard 5.
Standard 5.
So there's a group of us who have signed on to volunteer to do a verification audit for the retail program standard. So there's no fee involved, which is wonderful. So I volunteered to do the verification audit for Standard 5 for the Vermont Health Department. So we have a call set up on Friday, actually, and we're just going to talk about some logistics. And so they'll send me their work, and I'll look at it and see if it meets the standard, and then let them know. And then I just reached out this morning because we finished Standard 6, so we need that verified. And somebody from Connecticut volunteered to do that. So we're working right now on setting up a time to have a phone call so we can coordinate how I can get the information to them to do the verification audit.
Well, thank you. I mean, you've always been a tremendous professional. I'm glad that you volunteered. I think
Yeah, I'm
you helped them out.
looking forward to it.
I have nothing else. Could I have a motion to approve the Associate Health Inspector report and the Health Agent report?
Motion.
I have a motion. I have a motion.
I'll
Do I have a
second.
Second. All in favor? Aye. 300. Okay. Now we have the environmental engineer. Ms. Mathis, do you have anything to talk about?
Did you want to?
I just had a question. I remember seeing something about someone calling in a discussion on mosquito spraying protocols or Middlesex mosquito project.
Well, I had a call with Eastern Middlesex Mosquito Control Project because they do the truck mounted spraying, and we publish a notice for the affected areas.
Okay.
So we put out, it used to be Code Red, and now it's whatever. Rave. Thanks, I couldn't think of it. So if it's, they're doing it in the Terrace Hall Lab and, this area, we do a sort of the radius around that and notify those potentially affected residents. And then the other mosquito-related issue was there was a resident calling about confirming that they had successfully excluded themselves from
Okay.
mosquito spraying. So what they do is they file with the mosquito control project such that the truck does not spray in front of their property.
Okay.
So the trucks are equipped with GPS, and I don't remember what the distance is, but if somebody wants their property excluded, they turn it off X feet or whatever before their property, and then back on after that amount of distance. And so then they have GPS tracking on it, so they can confirm that that person who asked to be excluded was in fact not sprayed.
Okay.
Did you have anything that you'd like to present?
No, just on mosquitoes, there's, so far this year, there's no human cases for either West Nile virus or Triple E, and we've only had one West Nile virus positive mosquito in Middlesex County, and not near us, but it's just, we're getting to the good part.
Do you have any questions? I have a couple
Sure.
questions. First, thank you. I know that you sent out, as I requested, the opening Wednesday, August 21st, 2 to 4, for the Broward Institute will have their opening. If you have the time, it's going to be a very exciting event, so please consider coming. And the use of coal tar as a pavement sealer, what was that all about?
I had a complaint from somebody who resides in one of the local hotels, and they were inquiring about if there were any restrictions on the use of coal tar sealer, which is different in its makeup from asphalt emulsion sealer. So driveway sealer mostly is the thick tarry stuff that you put on your driveway, and that's typically made up of mid to long chain hydrocarbons, which do have an odor, but that tends to dissipate fairly quickly after it's put down. Coal tar sealer has a lot more PAHs in it, which they tend to linger longer, they smell a lot more. And this individual was just wondering if there were any local ordinances that restricted the use of the coal tar sealer. And there's only one in all of Massachusetts, and that's for Westboro. Other entities and states have restricted them or banned them. Like Austin, Texas has a ban on their use. I think the state of Washington has a ban on their use. So this individual was aware that there had been some movements in other areas and wanted to know if there was anything locally. And I informed them that, no, the only one in all of Massachusetts was the one township.
Thank you.
They are carcinogenic, though.
PAHs are, yep, several of them are known carcinogens. So if you ever smelled mothballs, the primary substance of that is naphthalene.
Naphthalene.
And that's a suspected carcinogen, as are phenanthrene, pyrene, a whole bunch of them, benzoate, anthracene, and go on and on.
If you look at any of the containers, one of the quick ways to ascertain whether it's carcinogenic and see if it's banned in California, because it's listed right there. The state of California has deemed this a carcinogenic agent. It's right on the label.
Yeah, and so just to round that out, a lot of things are suspected human carcinogens, as a lot of PAHs are, and that's based on mostly on EPA or CDC studies that look at toxicity. However, the state of California will do their own toxicity studies and say, okay, we've decided that this is a known carcinogen, not a suspected carcinogen. And so they regulate it a little bit differently, and then they have different labeling requirements.
Thank you.
Well, it says we haven't banned it. I mean, it's been banned in other states, but Massachusetts has specific bans within boundaries for that coal tar, which is kind of interesting. I just Googled it on the web while you were talking, because I have not heard the difference, but
I have nothing else. Could I have a motion, please, to approve the environmental engineers? I have a motion by Ms. Demore, second by Ms. Sheehan. All in favor? Aye. 300. So nice to have two great professionals here today. And now the third, the boss. Under the Director of Public Health, we have 4 reports. The first one is one by Taisha Soto, the Tobacco Coordinator. Does anybody have any questions on hers? I don't.
I did not.
Okay, we're all set. The second with the supervisory nurse, Sandra Triani. Do we have any questions on her report? She's still in training?
Yes.
Okay, we have no questions. The next one is the Associate Director of Public Health, Michael Green, that is on vacation. He's been very busy. Does anybody have any questions with... I have one quick question. Maybe you know this, if not, it can wait. He's been very busy, and he has highlighted Perk and Elma. Are they new to this community?
Christine can tell you about that, because that's really something she's going to take.
Yeah, Mike fielded a call with them while I was on vacation back in June, and they will be looking to get both a hazardous materials storage permit and a biological safety permit with them. I haven't seen a permit application for either permit yet, and they're looking to go into 3 Burlington Woods Drive. And so I did get the application from the building owner for their centralized pH system for their hazardous materials permit, but I don't have anything for the tenant yet.
Another major company coming to Burlington.
Yeah, it's not Perkin-Elmer, it's a division of Perkin-Elmer. I've emailed back and forth with them, but I haven't seen their application yet. It's a division of Perkin-Elmer, not the division that makes all the analyzers like GC mass specs and LC mass specs. But yeah, it should be interesting. Big company.
Yeah, good company. Thank you. Now it brings me to the Director of Public Health, Ms. Luminello. Do we have any questions for her?
No, I'll just.
I just have one.
Okay.
You've highlighted in your report this month and other months and other weeks, we have so many hoarding cases that are coming before you now.
It's the same one.
It's the same.
It's in my report because they take a really long time. So it's really, we have one open hoarding case that is taking a very long time. I mean, we're making some progress, and Karen DiRienzo from the Burlington Police Department has graciously accepted to work with us and work with this person over the next few months to help them with their
So the question is, who assists you?
Yeah, so Karen, that's who's assisting me with that.
And does any other groups in town help you with this?
No, not at this time, no. We don't have anyone else helping.
Do you need any more help?
No, well, I only got the one. Let's hope that...
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. I know that we talk about that quite a bit, that one case, which is very convoluted and very difficult. Thank you very much. Do I have a motion?
Oh, just a couple, I just want to make a...
Oh, good.
So I just wanted the board to know on Taisha's report, I asked her to just put in what she does for Burlington. So it may not look like there's a lot there, but she's doing a lot of work also for Lexington and Wilmington, so she's doing other stuff as well. And there's a lot of requirements for the tobacco control program to attend meetings and things like that. So she does that, and that she did put in, but that's really for the whole coalition as well.
For the Triton
Right.
grant. So now I need a motion to approve the Director of Public Health's report, which includes the tobacco coordinator, the supervisory nurse, the associate director, and of course, the Director of Public Health. Could I have a motion?
So moved.
So move, and a second? So moved in second. It's easy tonight because it's Ms. Demore or Ms. Sheehan or Ms. Sheehan and Ms. Demore. All in favor? Aye, 300. Is there anything else that anybody would like to bring up before the board? If not, could I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
I have a motion, Mr. Maurice, second by Ms. Jean. All in favor? Aye. 300. Good night, everybody. Have a safe summer. Be well.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.